So you can see here this empty frame of honeycomb is what I extracted honey from yesterday, and I left the comb mostly intact so the bees can repair it and fill it up and not have to expend any more beeswax. Next you can see that I've got a few frames that the bees just have had a hard time building up wax on the plastic foundation. This front side's okay, but this back side's a little weak, so with some honey cappings that I was extracted, I cleaned it up and applied thin sheets of beeswax to these troubled sections, and I hope that'll give it a little bit of a kickstart for the bees to finish up waxing this foundation. Next, in this hive inspection, I found several frames of brood and freshly laid eggs in my poppin hive, and that is something that I've been looking forward to because I actually do have one other hive, and it's been almost queenless since I've gotten the hive, and I've given them frames of eggs time and time again, but every time they make a new queen, something seems to fail, so I'm hoping this go around they're finally going to be able to make a queen and work on their colony before the winter comes. Now you can see the close-up of this brood section. My poppin hive, the queen just seems to have a really good laying pattern, and you can see several stages of larvae up close, those bigger bits, and if you look closely you can see tiny little rice looking things, and those are actually the eggs. And I was actually a little worried momentarily because I thought this hive was no longer laying, and I thought maybe something was wrong with the queen, but what it was is the brood's just so dark now that I just had a hard time seeing the eggs, that was all. So it's not as bad as I thought, and this is actually looking really good. There's several cells that have freshly hatched bees, and they seem to be very quickly filling up with more eggs, which is pretty good. Now this next camera angle that you're about to see is me doing some hive maintenance between the two hives. I am giving a frame of freshly laid eggs to my weaker hive, so hopefully those bees will make a new queen out of that. And I'm also giving back some brood comb from the weaker hive. Most of that brood comb actually came from the stronger hive anyway when I've tried to help them out over this season, and I'm only doing that to replace some of the frames that they're having a hard time building upon. Lastly, I did a minimal hive inspection of the honey supers, and I mentioned yesterday that I extracted one frame of honey. As a first-year beekeeper, first time ever doing it, you just get very excited. You want to taste the fruits of your labor, and I was very pleased to find out that one medium frame produced almost 2 pints of honey. And lastly, you can see this up close of one medium frame almost full of honey.